I'm T-Set, and this is a tea time lapse. I think it's time to start making new video assets reflecting my Sona changes. I had hoped last month to get a new PNG tuber model made, but I went from a very high energy month right into a very low energy month, and I just didn't adjust to my limitations quickly enough. It's tough because I went from a month where I really only couldn't work right in the middle of the day to a month where I could really only work in the mornings. But having now adjusted, I am better utilizing my mornings and should be more productive. But even with all that going on, I did get this new thumbnail done last month. I still like the curtain reveal from my previous thumbnail, and I wanted to keep that going in this one. In addition to updating in general to my new Sona design, I wanted to update from being a chibi to my standard style. I played around a bit with my framing elements as well as with what the lettering would look like. I ended up deciding to do something very similar to the new lettering I'd come up with for my username. Specifically the kind of vintage-inspired lettering that I use for T-Set. I like how I used the A to make the sparkle that I use in T-Set's motifs. I'm not very experienced with lettering, but I would like to improve. I think that it's a skill that's very useful to have. I did take a typography class in college, but the teacher definitely had a bias against feminine handwriting. He definitely preferred very geometric type. The following year, when another teacher found out that that was who we had for our type class, they had a very, "Oh, you'll have to unlearn some things" kind of reaction. I don't think that was necessarily true, but I do wonder if we would have learned more if we were in someone else's class. It was a very bare bones, this is for illustration students kind of class, as opposed to something that would maybe be more in depth for like graphic design students. Anyway, moving on to the tight sketch. I accidentally made the chin so big in this picture, and I fix it a bit later on, but it's kind of like, how did I not notice that? I think the reason I didn't notice it was wrong is because it's not necessarily a decision that is anatomically incorrect, it's just incorrect for this character. I have a fairly small chin, and I want my Sona to have one as well. I make this ruffle too small and place it too high on the gown initially. It's one of the things I change at the very end. I'd also hoped last month to get a reference drawing for this outfit and version of my Sona done, but that obviously didn't come to pass. Hopefully I'll have better luck this month. Tell me, YouTube viewers in the future, did I get it done? Certainly, it would be very rude of me to not have a reference sheet done by my birthday on January 1st, but hopefully I get it done well before then. We have like a good half a year as of recording this, right? I decided to sneak a little Dovin into the bottom right corner of this thumbnail. I still have to go back and finish that one animation I did of a Dovin walk cycle. I kinda lost steam once I got to the point that I had to do the line art. I don't really like animating, but I want there to be animations in my style as assets for my videos, so tough luck for me, gotta suck it up. And here you can see me testing out the little preview window. I'm not sure I like how small it is in this thumbnail graphic. So the next time I redraw my thumbnail graphic, I'll probably be mindful of keeping that bigger. I initially made the kerning really tight, and then felt that that was negatively impacting the readability of the text, and so fix it later. When I make a reference sheet for this version of my Sona, I am also going to make a sheet where I just draw her ears from different angles. Because they are a little challenging, and on the rare occasion that someone has drawn my Sona, I find that they struggle with it. I'm actually at a bit of a crossroads with the lapel. I'm not sure if I want to keep it scalloped like this. It is nice for being reminiscent of the scalloping on the ears. I think it's a nice visual consistency, visual repetition across the design. But it does make it a little bit more challenging to draw, and also I feel like it would make it work less as a real garment. I feel like scalloping is difficult to make work in real garments. Unless it's like just one layer of fabric where you're sewing over the edge. I don't know. Certainly by the time this video comes out on YouTube, I will have made a decision. I added this yellow here to be like reminiscent of paper being torn. And this empty space was weird, so I gave it a sparkle. And making an alternate closed mouth version for the videos that don't have voiceovers. Adding a cast shadow to the type, and deciding on a curtain color, various fiddling around and corrections at the end. Here I redraw this ruffle. And here's the final piece. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to my patrons for your support.